Alright, so last but not least in this entirely too long series of tutorials, we're going to go over how to add your own custom segments to the map. Now this, you might consider it pretty difficult, but it's really a lot simpler than it seems at first. So we have two files in here, one which we call maps.lookup.sky. Don't change this file name, just leave it as is, things will work. However, you do need to edit it. So we're going to go and open it up. You might want to open it in a text editor, but I mean it's up to you how you want to open it. I'm going to open it in a text editor. And what I like to do is just move it to the very far left of the screen, like so. And here's a basic rundown of what these are. We'll get more in depth as to what they are first. These first two lines, ignore them, don't ever change them. This last line, ignore it, but don't ever change it, don't ever go beyond it. What we have going on here is this is the name of the object, and you can name it anything. It's up to you how you want to name it. This is its top left X, top left Y, bottom right X, and bottom right Y of the rectangle that it's inside of our giant sprite sheet that we are building, which we'll show you here really soon. And then finally we have this tag here which is set to 0. If you set it to 1, your thing will be on fire, and if you set it to anything else it might throw errors, I don't know. So just 0 or 1 depending on whether or not you want your thing to be on fire. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at this other file here, which is mapsheet1. Again, don't change that name. If you want to get really into it, you can contact me by email, make another map sheet, whatever. But I believe that for the purposes of this contest, unless you are super ambitious and definitely destined to win by totally blowing me out of the water with your drive, you won't need any more than this map sheet here. So we're going to go and open it up. I think I have it set to open up in GIMP. You can open it up in Photoshop. I would recommend like at least one of those good image editing where you have rulers with which you can measure things and whatnot. So anyway, here we are. Got our deal here. I'm going to go and whip out a notepad. Get this nice right next to each other for you guys, because this is the way I work with it, and it works really well. So you'll notice everything that's in that little segment thing is right here in this space, in this sheet, and you're welcome to fill up the rest of the sheet. You're welcome to remove all of these and replace them with other things using my coordinates. It's entirely up to you how you want to do this. But for the purposes of just showing you guys what to do, I'm going to go ahead and zoom right in. Drop down some rulers for myself. It's really good to work with these rulers. I highly recommend it. If you're not working with these rulers, you will likely not know exactly where your stuff goes, and that's bad. So we're going to make a really big wall piece here, and you can do this any way you want to do it. I am going to, honestly, probably just really quickly half-ass it for the purposes of this tutorial, and leave it to you guys to make something fantastic on your own time. So anyway, we'll go ahead and grab our brush, fill it with stuff. Oops, went too far there. Actually, I want a much bigger brush than this. Not that big. Maybe I want a different brush. So you see, I'm just building this wall here. That's all it is. It's just a wall. If you want to constrain yourself to make sure you don't go out of bounds like I did down there, a really cool way to do it, or at least the way I like to do it, is to take your select tool. Usually the rectangular select tool does the job. But just go ahead and grab your upper left all the way down to your bottom right, and you'll only be editing in there, or you can just do it in layers if you're in GIMP. I don't think Photoshop blocks off layers like that. It's up to you. So anyway, let's get back to making this thing look pretty. Okie dokie. Sand dunes, huh? Never ceases to amaze me the things they name these. Alright, so there's our really ridiculous, weird looking thing. I can't be happy with that. Hold on. Let me tell you, translating between two programs like this, like I use both GIMP and Photoshop depending on where I'm at when I'm using it. It's a little different. Takes a little bit of getting used to. So here's our really, really, really shitty boulder thinning wall, which is now available in the game. Not right, not quite. So anyway, we've got this thing here, and we're just going to name it wall 1, and basically we'll go over to our maps lookup here, and we're going to give it a name, wall 1. And now we're going to basically take a look at just what its coordinates are. And I think GIMP makes this easier than Photoshop. I'm not sure, there's probably an easy way to do this. But all I want to do is grab this, or actually you can just do this, and you'll see down at the bottom, oh wait, no, it's because, okay, yeah. Down at the bottom left, down here, when my mouse is inside the screen, it'll give me my mouse's coordinates, which is beyond fantastic. So basically, if I want to know my top left coordinates, I can just be like, oh, it's 0, 578. And so I can just go down here, be like, okay, first two coordinates, 0, 578. Love you, GIMP. Then go down here, say, 329, 1170. Make sure they're all separated with a space. Make sure you give it a tag, otherwise it will throw an error. We're not going to put this one on fire, so we're going to give it a 0. And that's it. This will now be available in our palette to develop both for, it'll play in the game, and it'll do that. I mean, we do have to save these, so I'm going to go ahead and Control S on both of these. Oh, wait, GIMP's weird. Gotta export, overwrite. There we go. If you're in Photoshop, you can just Control S. So anyway, that's all honky-dory now. Go and knock those down. Visual Studio, if you've done it right, if you've done it even remotely right, will prompt you, say, hey, these things changed. Do you want to reload them? You just be like, yes to all. And then when you start up the map editor, we're going to go ahead and load our map from before. You can now, down here at the very bottom, and don't mess with the orderings of these, otherwise you'll mess up every map in the game because it looks up for them in sequence. Like in that lookup file, make sure you're adding things to the end of the list, always. So anyway, now we have this giant wall. Go us. We can go ahead and collision map it off a little bit. that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go and save this, and just as a proof, we're gonna go ahead and run the game to show you that it is actually indeed in our game. Oh, glorious day, look, a thing to run into up there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment, and hopefully you guys can find the time to make something fantastic with this. This concludes pretty much all of them. If you have any more questions, definitely email me, definitely contact me, some way, shape, or form. Throw rocks at me if you have to. And good luck.